Lysoria, a beacon of hope. 5 years passed, the cataclysm. 5 years since King Aric drove back the shadow blight, sealing the rift with his life. From the ashes, they rebuilt, stronger, more united. Princess Elira, now queen, ruled with her father's heart. Wise, compassionate, her reign promised prosperity. But scars remained. The cataclysm had left its mark, a chilling reminder of the darkness lurking beyond. Deep within the Obsidian Mountains, tremors shook the earth. The air grew heavy, thick with the stench of decay. An abyss, long sealed, pulsed with unholy light. From its depths, a voice boomed, ancient, powerful, filled with a rage that chilled souls. Necrothar, awakened. He felt the world above, ripe for the taking. His essence, a corrupting miasma, seeped out. Queen Lyra stood tall. Fear gnawed at her, but she was her father's daughter. She would not falter. She summoned her most trusted advisors. There was Kyle, the queen's champion. A grizzled warrior bearing the scars of countless battles. His loyalty was unyielding, his resolve unbreakable. Their only hope, the Ether Blade, a weapon of legend, shattered long ago, its fragments scattered across the land, each fragment guarded by trials, tests of strength, cunning, and will. Their first quest led them north, to the Frostfang Peaks. The air grew thin, the temperature plummeting with every step. Here, amidst the biting winds and treacherous ice, lay the first fragment. City. Section 6. The third fragment. Shadow of the Mountain. In the heart of the ancient lands, where legends whispered through the winds, lay the formidable Mount Ignis. This mountain was not just a natural wonder, but a living, breathing entity, shrouded in mystery and danger. The final fragment lay hidden within the very heart of Mount Ignis, a volcano eternally on the brink of eruption. Its fiery core held secrets that had been guarded for centuries, secrets that many had tried to uncover but failed, consumed by the mountain's wrath. The air choked with sulfur, the ground trembling beneath their feet. Every step was a battle against the elements, as the mountain seemed to resist their intrusion. The sulfur clouds were so thick that they could barely see a few feet ahead, making every moment a perilous journey. Rivers of molten rock flowed like veins of fire. These streams of lava were not just obstacles, but living entities, moving with a purpose, as if the mountain itself was alive and aware of their presence. The molten rock glowed with an intense heat, illuminating the dark caverns with an eerie light. They faced creatures born of ash and flame, their touch searing the soul. These fire-breathing monsters were the guardians of the fragment, fierce and relentless. The warriors had to muster all their strength and courage to fight these formidable foes, knowing that one wrong move could mean their end. The heat was unbearable, a constant threat to incinerate them. The temperature was so high that it felt like their very skin was melting. They had to shield themselves from the intense heat waves, using whatever they could find to protect their bodies from the scorching temperatures. Every moment was a test of endurance and willpower as they pushed forward, driven by the hope of finding the final fragment and unlocking the secrets of Mount Ignis. Section 7. The Forging of the Aetherblade. With the fragments in hand, they returned to Lysoria. The city prepared for war. Walls were reinforced, armies were mustered. Fear hung in the air, thick and suffocating. Alara, the archmage, worked tirelessly. Her magic, raw and volatile, crackled around the fragments. The air shimmered with heat as the pieces began to fuse. One by one, the shards came together. Section 8. The Shadow Descends. Necrothar's power spread like a plague. Villages were consumed by shadow, their inhabitants twisted into monstrous mockeries of life. The army of the undead marched towards Lysoria. The ground shook with the thunder of their approach. Their numbers seemed endless, their eyes burning with cold, malevolent light. Hope dwindled with each passing hour. Section 9. A Glimmer of Hope. The battle raged. Lysorian soldiers fought with the courage of desperation, but they were no match for Necrothar's power. The tide began to turn. Hope dwindled. Queen Lyra, armed with the Aetherblade, led the charge. The blade sang in her hands, its light cleaving through the darkness. She fought with the fury of a cornered animal. Section 10. A Legacy of Vigilance. In the annals of history, there are tales that stand out, stories of courage, sacrifice, and unwavering vigilance. This is one such tale. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity. The clash of steel, the cries of the wounded, and the relentless push of the enemy seemed never-ending. Each soldier fought with every ounce of strength they had, knowing that the fate of their kingdom hung in the balance. But slowly, surely, the tide began to turn. The determination and bravery of the Lysorian soldiers began to show. Inch by inch, they pushed back the invaders, reclaiming their land and hope. The Aetherblade, wielded by Queen Lyra, cut through the darkness, driving back the shadows. This legendary weapon, said to be forged by the ancient mages, glowed with an ethereal light, a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. With a final desperate blow, Queen Lyra struck Necrothar down. The dark sorcerer, who had brought so much pain and suffering, fell to the ground, his reign of terror finally at an end. A blinding flash of light erupted, pushing back the darkness. The magical energy released from the Aetherblade spread across the battlefield, purging the land of the dark magic that had plagued it for so long. The remaining undead crumbled, their master vanquished. Without Necrothar's dark power to sustain them, they turned to dust, their threat finally extinguished. The cost of victory was high, but Lysoria had endured. The soldiers, though weary and battered, stood tall, knowing that their sacrifices had not been in vain. They had protected their home, their families, and their future. The legacy of their vigilance would be remembered for generations to come, a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit.